Hello, good morning, friends. It is Friday. Time for another weekend reading vlog. It will not be nearly as exciting as the last one when I was in North Carolina with my booktube besties. It's just going to be a normal weekend around here, but I'm going to stick with the program and go ahead and share my weekend with you. So I'm headed to work right now. I actually got my hours moved up. I was working 8:30 to 12:30 on Fridays. Now I'm 8 to 12 so that the grandma who comes to hang out with my little dude can have more time with him, because now that he's only taking one nap, he goes to bed earlier in the afternoon. And so she was basically showing up and putting him to bed and then not being able to hang out with him at all. So my hours are moved up so grandma can have more time with him, and I'm fine with that. That means I'm done at noon on Fridays. Hoping, my fingers are crossed. I can't really cross my fingers. I'm hoping that Jordan comes home from the hospital today. He has been in for almost 2 weeks. They almost were going to send him home yesterday, but he wasn't quite ready. So possibly today is the day. I guess we shall see. I have some books ready to go to the post office for the Christmas book exchange. Yay! So I need to go to the post office today. I'm planning to go to the chiropractor. It's potentially going to be kind of a rainy day, so we'll see what I get up to. I know that I need to edit a video that's going up in the morning and reading. So reading wise, I started yesterday listening to the audiobook of one of my nonfiction November books, Warriors Don't Cry, by Melba Patillo Beals. She is one of the Little Rock Nine, one of the 9 Black students who integrated Central High in Little Rock, Arkansas. It is devastating and infuriating already. I'm only like this far into the book, but it's just so sad. And I'm amazed and grateful for these students who, and their families, who took so much anger upon themselves in order to push forward civil rights, ultimately, and just to have an equal education. Like, yeah, oof, it's going to be a hard one. I may have already cried listening to it this morning as I was getting ready. Good gracious. But yeah, it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good weekend. I really don't know what else I'm going to get up to. I know I'm babysitting tomorrow night, so that's super exciting. It might just be a pretty chill weekend. So we shall see what we do when we do it. I don't know. I don't have to teach or sing on Sunday, so I just have to go get everything ready for the person who is teaching. But yeah, it should be a pretty chill weekend. I will bring you along for the fun. Hopefully I'll get some fall views, because right now it is stunning around me. The leaves are, I don't know if it's peak. I never look up when peak season is, but the trees right now are glorious. I'm loving it. Although it is a rainy day today, hopefully at some point this weekend I can show you some lovely fall vistas. We'll see. All right, I'll talk to you soon. just got done with work and I finished the first of my couple errands and stopped at the library. So I thought I'd show you real quick. The first book that I got, I've already actually read this month, but I listened to it on audio, and I just grabbed the book so that I can hold it up in a video and save me from having to put the thumbnail in. But this was my first nonfiction of the month, The Day the World Came to Town, 9/11 in Gander, Newfoundland by Jim DeFed. So fabulous about this town where a bunch of different planes had to land, and how this town totally embraced these people and bent over backwards to help them. It was so beautiful and moving and inspiring and sad because of the events of that day, but also just fabulous. So there you go. Sneak peek into my mid-month wrap up. So good. And then I also picked up The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. I've just been hearing about this a lot lately. I think it's about this group of people at a retirement village who are sitting around talking one day, and I don't know if someone dies in the village or they just learn about this murder and they decide they're going to figure it out, and then they kind of become this club that solves murders. I'm really excited. I've just heard it's really good, has laugh out loud moments, so it's going to be like a lighthearted mystery surrounding elderly people, and I'm very excited. My mom has read it as well and said she loved it. And then I also grabbed November's edition of Book Page, which just highlights a ton of different books from a ton of different categories. And so I always love to pick that up when I can and look through it and get some new book ideas, as if I don't have enough book ideas already. Now I'm headed to the post office, and then I think I'm going to get my brother and bring him home. Yay! Hello. It is now 6:45 and I haven't made any clips since earlier this afternoon. I did bring Jordan home. I did not want to put him on camera because he's not feeling great still. He's resting out in the other room watching weird shows on TV. Homesteading in Alaska. I don't know. Weird stuff. Ice fishing. What's the other one that he loves? Like Fast and the Furious, like drag racing shows. I don't know. But he's home, so yay. I am sitting here editing. I just had white chicken chili for dinner, and now I'm editing. And I've started The Faithful Spy right here. This is like a YA/middle grade biography, almost graphic novel. It has some big pictures. Oh, it's hard to do this with one hand. It has some big pictures, but it's a biography of Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who was a German, but not a Nazi sympathizer. And he actually wanted to kill Hitler at some point. He's a theologian as well. So I just barely started that when I needed a little break from the computer. So this is going to be me this evening. I'm not sure I'm going to hop back on. I might at the end of the day, just to kind of tell you what I'm thinking about Warriors Don't Cry, which I'm listening to, and The Faithful Spy. But this is going to be me tonight. Comfy, hair up in a messy bun, chilling in my chair, getting this video edited for tomorrow morning and reading. Very exciting Friday night plans around here. Good morning. Happy Saturday. It is 9 o'clock. I allowed myself to stay in bed for a little bit this morning, and I finished the audiobook of Warriors Don't Cry. I'm wondering if this is an abridged version, because a lot was not included in this book that was on the audiobook. So I don't know if this is a different version of it or something, but regardless, it was an incredibly moving and infuriating story of Melba Patillo Beals, who was one of the 9 Black students who went to Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas, when the Supreme Court had made a ruling that schools should be segregated or desegregated. And the governor of Arkansas at the time refused to comply with that ruling, the federal ruling. And he set up state soldiers. I don't know what they were. State National Guard, not National Guard, but regardless, he set up soldiers around the school and refused to let these students in, which set the tone right away. So segregationists and their families and their students, their kids, abused these 9 students every day for a school year. And Melba tells the story of the things that happened to her. and it's horrifying, not just name calling, which was in there. The N-word was very prevalent in this book, but that's what they were called over and over and over. They had ink thrown on their clothes. They had rotten eggs thrown on them. They had water thrown on them. They had people hit them and punch them and throw dynamite down the stairwells at them and catch them in the bathroom stalls and throw burning pieces of paper over the stalls at them and take away their clothes while they're in the showers after PE class, and just one thing after another, after another, after another. It was incredibly moving and horrifying. I really appreciated Melba's faith in her family and the way that they helped her to be strong through all of it. I can't imagine having the strength and the bravery to continue to go and face that. She talks about how she kind of lost all of her other friends because the whole Black community in Little Rock was affected by this situation. It was very moving, an important story, very hard to read. Yeah, it was an incredibly moving and heartbreaking memoir. I'm glad that I read it. I think it's important to remember those things in history, and it's just horrifying that people would treat teenagers, kids, like this, and that none of the adults in the school, with very, very few exceptions, none of the adults did anything. They just stood by and watched. I can't imagine not standing up for somebody who's being treated this way. I just can't imagine. So I'm glad that I read that. I probably will start the audiobook of Winter later today. And I'm also going to continue reading The Faithful Spy today. I have to go babysit later at 4:30, but it's 9:00 now. I'm going to do a workout in my workout clothes so that I can do a workout. My back is really sore, so we'll see how much of a workout I do. I might just do one of those walking ones so I get some cardio type. Yeah, I think I might do a walking workout. I feel like that will be the easiest on my back. It won't include any jumping or anything like some of the more intense workouts I have been doing. Have all kinds of jumping, and I just can't do that today. So I'll probably just do a walking, maybe like a 2-mile walking workout. Plans for the day until later. I'm probably going to do my own version of sprints because I would like to spend 15 minutes cleaning in this room, 15 minutes cleaning in my kitchen, 15 minutes cleaning in my bedroom. I can usually get most things done with one 15-minute sprint. I might do 20, maybe 20 minutes. And then alternate those cleaning periods with some reading. I need to do laundry, just like a day here. I'm going to stay around here just because Jordan's home, and if he needs anything, I want to be around since I'm going to be gone from 4:30 on. That is the plans for the day. I also this weekend would like to update my reading spreadsheet. I'm a couple months behind again. I have not been very good, and I need to kind of audit my Goodreads. My folder for 2021 doesn't match my Goodreads challenge for 2021, so I need to figure out what is the discrepancy there and get that matched back up, and that should all match my spreadsheet as well. So I need to work on that. Thankfully, I have videos where I talk about all the books that I read, and so that will help as well. But yeah, now I need to work out. I'm rambling so that I can procrastinate, but I need to get going. Let's go. The tree right outside my house is so pretty right now. The camera just doesn't do it justice. It's so red. Look how beautiful. So I just got done doing a walking workout. I will link which one it is down below. I always have one or two people ask me, ew, that's a gross spider web. I always have one or two people ask me what workouts I do. So I will put the link to the walking workout because I just found it on YouTube. Leslie Sansone, it's her company. She did not lead this one. I found a newer one, so it was a different person who led it, but it was just the right amount of, like, it made me sweaty. So, and I moved for 30 minutes. It said it was 2 miles. My Fitbit did not clock 2 miles, but it's on my arm. So if I had put it on my foot, I wonder if that would have been different because my arms maybe don't swing as much. I don't know, but it was a 2 mile, 30-minute workout and I got a little sweaty. So it was a perfect way to get my body moving this morning. And then I just gave Jordan something that he needs, and I'm gonna go ahead and cook some bacon that we have in the fridge that needs to get cooked up. I'm just gonna cook it all up so it's ready to go for the week. We can make BLTs or add it to salads or our eggs in the morning or whatever. So I'm gonna cook up 2 pounds of bacon, yum, and start listening to Winter while I am cooking it. I also have some frozen blueberries, so I'm thinking about making some blueberry muffins that we'll have for the week as well. Or maybe some blueberry pancakes, or maybe both. I'm trying to use up stuff that's in my freezer already and like in my fridge already. So that's what I'm gonna do for the next little bit. And then after I cook, I will have a shower and get into the cleaning reading sprints for the day. So, but workout is complete. Yay. Hello, friends. It is 2 o'clock and I have done a lot of cleaning today. Actually, I worked in the kitchen while I was making all that bacon that I had to cook up. I just got out supplies. I'm gonna make some blueberry muffins now. I cleaned in my library room a little bit. I have not done too much in my bedroom. I started a little. I need to actually throw in a load of laundry too, because I have about 2 hours until I need to head to my babysitting job. But I'm about to make some blueberry muffins. Tomorrow I think I'm gonna make some banana bread because these are ready for some banana bread. I have read about 75 pages in The Faithful Spy, the Dietrich Bonhoeffer book. It's super interesting to learn about how is it that Hitler came to power. And it kind of has to do with German economy, like following World War I and the Treaty of Versailles, which really was hard for the economy to recover. And so Hitler and the Nazi party like slowly started to gain momentum and ranks and influence, and until it was too late and he made himself, well, he like got his way into being the chancellor, and then when the president died, he said, well, I should just be both, but so that the world thinks that's okay, let's have a vote. Yeah, and then he was a madman. Like, so, and then Dietrich Bonhoeffer was a theologian, and so he had studied in the United States and had traveled quite a bit. But so I'm learning about how there were some churches who didn't just fall in line with Hitler's plans and the Reich Church that he set up, and so I'm learning about the little subversions that were in place that you don't often hear about. But it's super interesting. I feel it's very informative. I'm about 75 pages into that. Like I said, which is almost halfway. And I also, while I was cleaning the kitchen and cooking all the bacon, I listened to about 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours to Winter. It didn't take me that long to cook, but I listened at up the speed. I think it was 2.0 speed. So I listened to some Winter and I'm loving it. It's book 4 in the Lunar Chronicles and it's just a delight. And I can't say it's too much because it's book 4 in the series, right? So we're following all the characters that we have met so far and getting to know Winter, who is the main focus of this book. I mean, she's not the main focus, but she's a big part of this book, and we were only briefly introduced to her in previous books, so she has a much larger role in this story. So really enjoying it. The audiobook is a total of 24 hours, which is long. I think the book is 800 something pages. It's really long. So I am making my way through that, and I'm probably going to listen. I have a headphone in right now. I'm going to listen while baking for a little bit. So that is the plans for the next little bit. I'm actually going to go throw in a load of laundry before I start baking, and then I'm going to bake. Maybe I'll show you as I bake. I don't know. Is that interesting for you? We'll see what I show you. Regardless, I will talk to you later. Hello, hello. Sorry for the strange lighting. I am babysitting and I just put the little dude down for bed. And in about 10 minutes, I'm going to be hosting a cozy read-in on Instagram, which is just where people get cozy and read and know that other people are reading with you. And if people tag me, I share their stories or their posts. It's not really a huge in-depth thing. It's very simple to join. It's not anything live like the live reading sprints. It's simply get cozy and read. So I just like to know that I'm reading at the same time as other people and encourage other people to take a break and enjoy a couple hours on a weekend night to sit and read. So the family that I'm watching today went to a football game. The parents went to a football game, so it could be a late night for me. I did bring 2 books and I have an audiobook as well. But I will be still listening to Winter from the Lunar Chronicles. And I'm hoping to listen to that while working on my spreadsheet that I did not get to earlier today. I also brought The Faithful Spy, which I did make it nearly halfway. Oh, you can't even see where my... Anyways, I did make it nearly halfway through this, finding it very interesting, which I've already talked about. I haven't read any more since the last time I checked in. So I should work on that. I would like to work on that for a little bit tonight. And then I also have a library nonfiction called Breath, The New Science of a Lost Art by James Nestor. And I've only read the introduction and started the first chapter of this one, but it's very interesting. Just learning about how breath and breathing practices, the impact that has on your body. And this guy, James Nestor, is going to travel all around learning about breathing practices all over the world. And I'm assuming there are going to be examples of breathing practices in here and the benefits of that. And I just think that is going to be really cool. I know my workout program that I just finished, 6:45, every Wednesday was a mobility and stability day where it was more like stretching and working on mobility exercises. And at the end of that day, every week, he would have some kind of breathing exercise, which is always very interesting to me. But I mean, you can boost your metabolism through breath. You can calm anxiety through breath. There's even breathing for weight loss. There's just different breathing techniques that can give you a boost of energy in the afternoon or just different things. And I know when I have done different yoga exercises or practices, breath is a huge part of that as well, and being aware of your breath and stuff. So I'm just really excited to read that. And from what I read already at the beginning, it was very interesting. And guess where I learned about this book? The Currently Reading podcast. I feel like I talk about them all the time because I do get a lot of good recommendations from them. Even though neither of the main hosts or the extra hosts that they have, usually none of them have very similar tastes to me. I just love how they talk about books and they convince me to try things all the time. So this is one that Meredith from the Currently Reading podcast talked about, and I'm very, very interested. So hopefully we'll get to that a little bit tonight. But I'm going to go get things kicked off on Instagram, and I will check back in with you guys later. I'm also going to be checking in with my brother because I hate that I had to leave him home when he's still struggling with mobility to get around and stuff. So I made sure to bring him dinner and stuff before I left. Made sure he had a couple drinks available so he didn't have to go to the kitchen because it's like the farthest distance, the farthest room in my house. The kitchen's at the back and he's in the living room, which is at the front of my house. So yeah, I just want to check in with him and make sure he's doing okay. I'm sure he is, but Big sister just wants to make sure. I will talk with you later. Good morning. It's Sunday. I am ready to go to church. I need to leave here in a few minutes. I have my hot cider in my kids team, Thrive Kids, little hot mug, little travel mug, whatever. I just sent out a Zoom link for the Currently Reading Podcast Lit Society Zoom chat that I'll be having later this afternoon. There's a bunch of different times that you can sign up for, and I just host one of them because I have the Zoom where you can be on for longer than 40 minutes. So I have that going on today. I don't really have anything else going on today. Oh no, I think I have lunch out with some of my friends from church and hopefully some new people as well. We're bringing back to life Eat the Alphabet, which is what we used to do before COVID. We would go out once a month to eat and go to a restaurant of the next letter of the alphabet, and we are on Q. Well, we skipped Q and did R, but that's as far as we got. So we're on Q, and I found a barbecue place called Q Barbecue, so we're going to be going there for lunch today, hopefully. If anybody can go. I know my one friend Ryan, she normally goes with me every single time, and she can't make it today, so I'm really sad to do this without her. But I had already told a handful of other people that it's happening, so we're just gonna do it. We'll see who comes. But lunch out, Lit Society Zoom, and then I'm done for the day. So I will get cozy and probably read and hang out and chill. I did not end up working on my book spreadsheet at all last night, but I did finish The Faithful Spy. I think I ended up giving it 4 stars. I loved the format of it. I didn't find it particularly compelling, but it was very interesting just to kind of see a broad view of what was happening politically and with some of the resistance movements within Germany. So particularly religious resistance. I didn't feel like we really got to know Bonhoeffer super well, but I did like the dilemma that he had to work through of loving God and loving country, and how those overlap or don't overlap, and how he had to work through that for himself. And then also the moral issues of being part of a resistance where the goal is ultimately to assassinate Hitler when we're commanded in the Bible to not kill and to not lie. And he is working with a spy network. So working out some of that morality gray area in a wartime setting was interesting to kind of read a little bit about as well. It didn't go super deep into it, just talked about that those were some of his struggles. I did feel like it could have gone a little deeper, but it is geared more for, I would say, YA. I think for middle graders it was a little much. Or was it adult and just in a fun format? That could be the case too. So I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I did read a little bit of Breath last night, and I listened to Winter. I'm about 26% through Winter, which is amazing because it's so big. So I'll probably listen to that a little bit as well today. So should be a good Sunday. It's another beautiful day, chillier today than yesterday, but it's going to be a good day. So I'll check in later. I am home from church and I'm lounging still in my church shirt, but cozied up in a blanket and listening to Winter while playing a game on my phone because I have a Zoom at 3:00, which is in 45 minutes. So I was going to go out for a walk, but I'm like, no, I just kind of want to nap/rest. So that's what I'm doing. Just got Jordan a drink and some dinner, lunch, and now I'm listening to Winter. I did go to a barbecue place with 2 friends from church. Here's a picture. We are back into it with our Eat the Alphabet, where each month we go to a restaurant that has the next letter of the alphabet. We did skip Q because we couldn't find anything, but now recently I found Q Barbecue, so we went there for lunch today. The rule is generally no chain restaurants, and I'm pretty sure Q Barbecue is a chain, but we went there anyway. It was delicious. It might not be a chain. I don't know. Regardless, Q is a limited options. So I'm going to get back to my reading or listening, and then I have to freshen up a little bit before the Zoom for the Currently Reading crew. I will definitely check in at some point later this evening. I'm hoping to film today, but I don't really have anything ready. So I need to think about that a little bit as well. So we'll see. We'll see if I do or not. It's only 5:20 and it feels like 10 o'clock because it's already so dark outside. So I had a lovely chat on Zoom with some friends from the Currently Reading Podcast Patreon group. And then I checked in on Jordan. He's having a little bit of a rough afternoon. And then I just filmed 2 videos. So now I'm going to go get out of my sweater, take out these earrings, get into a comfy shirt, and sit and read. Finally, I've not done any reading today. That's not true. I did listen to Winter for a little while earlier. So I'm going to probably get back to that one while I put some clothes away and do a few chores around the house. And then hopefully get settled down in my chair to spend the rest of the evening reading. I really want to get into, Breath a little bit more, read a chapter or 2 more of that. And then also today, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I'm going to be starting the Lincoln Highway. I am reading this as a buddy read with Amanda from the Curly Reader. I know this week also I have a couple other, there's the rest of my November. The rest of my November TBR is up there. And two of those are buddy reads as well. So I'm probably going to be starting 1 or 2 of those this week as well, but not today. Today, I'm going to read Breath, Winter, and the Lincoln Highway. I have roast beef in the crock pot that is ready to eat, but I'm not super hungry because I had a late lunch. So I'm going to wait another half hour or so before having dinner. But for now, I'm going to listen to Winter and change my clothes and get comfortable and put some clothes away, clean in my bedroom for 15 minutes or so, and put these piles of books away that I just used for my videos. Well, it is 10:45 and I need to get ready for bed. So I need to wrap up this vlog. It has been a very chill weekend, but after a couple busy weeks, it was nice to have a weekend of just basically nothing going on. I did get quite a bit of reading done this weekend. So I read completely The Faithful Spy, the Dietrich Bonhoeffer book. I read 50% of Winter, which is crazy because that's huge, but I listened to that a lot today, a lot yesterday. I just am really into it. I forget how much I really enjoy that series and loving how it's all coming to a head in this 4th and final book. So read a lot more of that today. I am on page 44 of Breath. I'm in chapter 3 now. So I didn't read very much of this one. This is kind of my slow and steady, just a little bit here and there book. It is starting to get into some different breathing practices. So the one that it was just talking about is how when you breathe mainly through one nostril or the other, the oxygen goes to different parts of your brain and activates different things. So it was just talking about that a little bit, which was very interesting. But I'm excited because I feel like it's going to really get into that side of breathing a little bit more. And then tonight I did start the Lincoln Highway. I just read the first chapter. I am not a fan of lack of punctuation. And in this book, Immortals does not use quotation marks. I thought it was going to really bother me. I think I'll get into the story enough that it will be okay. But at the very beginning, I'm like, can't we just use proper grammar? But that it is what it is. So far I've just met Emmett and his little brother Billy. Emmett had been sentenced to 18 months at this detention facility. We don't really know too many details, but somehow he was involved with someone else's death. I don't think he was directly the person to cause it, but he was involved somehow. And so he kind of had to spend some time away. But when his dad passed away after only a few months in the detention facility, he was released for good behavior. And because his dad passed away, and he is the sole provider or caregiver for his little brother. So apparently he was let off early, but he comes home and immediately discovers that the bank is foreclosing on the property. And so they have to basically leave. So Billy and Emmett had a big discussion about where they're going to go and why. And right at the very end, 2 people show up in the barn door. Billy and Emmett are out at the car and in the barn, and 2 people show up at the barn door. And I know from reading the summary that it's 2 people from the detention center where Emmett just came from. So I don't know if they're friendly. I don't know if they're friends yet, but I'm very excited to read it. I feel like it's going to be a good read. I just was talking to someone about it today in that Zoom for my currently reading friends. And she said when it ended, she just didn't want it to end. She wanted to stay with these characters and continue their story. So even though it's pretty long, she said she got very invested in these 2 boys in particular and their story, and just really did not want it to end. So I'm like, well, that's a good sign that a big long book doesn't feel like a drag and like, oh, when is this going to be over? So hopefully I feel the same way. We shall see. But for now, I am going to go get ready for bed. I do have to work tomorrow and need to get everything set up for Jordan before I go so that he can be as comfortable as possible for the day. And that's it. So thanks for hanging out with me for a pretty chill weekend this time around. Not very much going on in my world. Not very many activities this weekend. But that's that. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear how your reading went this weekend. What did you read? How did you spend your time over the weekend? And I appreciate you watching. I'll talk to you in another video very soon. Bye.